And a piece of Rockford history drew families to Midway Village Museum Saturday, where the Rockford Peaches playdate gave visitors a chance to step into the world of the city's legendary women's baseball team. From vintage uniforms to baseball on the field, visitors embraced the Peaches story. Families participated in hands-on activities while learning about the women who played in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which was going on during World War II. Organizers say events like this help keep local history alive while introducing younger generations to the impact the Peaches had on Rockford and the sport itself.
Today's event was showing women's baseball from 1943 to 1954. Women's baseball is like the cornerstone of women being able to do more in sports. The highlight of my year is doing this event every year.